This is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre, and you're listening to the WWE Podcast.
The champ is
the one that everybody wants, me.
It's going to WrestleMania. Claymore!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. This is my iron. You're going to acknowledge me.
What's going on, everybody? Guys and girls, welcome back to another edition of the SmackDown review right here on the WWE Podcast. As always, I am one of the hosts of the show, Michael Ritter. You can find me on Twitter at Michael5Ritter, and also one of the hosts of the Football Function Podcast, available on the Patreon app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Now, this is another live breakdown for my humble co-host and I, John Carrasco. You can find him on Twitter at Big Speaker, BIGG_speaker. But, yeah, like I just said, we're doing this bad boy live again. We did it last week. Hope you guys enjoyed that version, because we really enjoyed breaking it down like that, just being completely honest. Not only is it more time-conserving, I guess, because it conserves time, and it's just a different format. You know, we've done it a certain way for a long time, and this is a way to kind of, you know, rejuvenate it a little bit. Oh, one thing I will say, just a quick little side note, Pat McAfee. It's pretty much, well, there's rumors because Wade Barrett said in some interview or something like that Pat isn't going to come back anytime soon.
Wow.
And Pat tweeted late last night that he thinks about WWE every day, and he very much is looking forward to coming back. And it's not a matter of if, but when. So that's pretty much the gist I got. So I had to retweet and end with a hashtag WUD for Pat, obviously. Right. But the first thing that happened on this SmackDown, that obviously the SmackDown airing right now on March 17th, 2023 from Kansas City, Missouri, starts with none other than Cody Rhodes, the 2023 Royal Rumble winner. And he's trying to play moderator, or what's the word I'm looking for? Moderator?
Counselor, in a way.
Mediator is a word. Basically, you know, like the person that's between Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. The person that's between Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless or whatever, you know.
Don't know the word, but I'd say counselor in a way, you know, trying to get these hotheads together, you know, cool them down, you know, to make them see eye to eye.
That's definitely like a high school way to look at it.
They're acting like little kids right now.
Taking the two little heathens into the counselor's office. Now, why are you guys beefing, okay? What's going on here? Anyways, Cody's going out there and he's trying to bring the boys together. He's trying to bring Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens together. He mentions Kevin Owens in a way that I really haven't heard him mention him since he's been back in WWE. And he references whenever he left, him being Cody, how he needed help. He needed contacts. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he needed people that actually had connections to really get him, or I guess get his feet wet in the wrestling industry. And apparently Kevin Owens was the one who sent Cody Rhodes in the right direction to really get him going whenever, you know, he was trying to launch AEW and all that good stuff, and basically put the key pieces together to do all that. Obviously, it wasn't just Cody by himself, but he had a lot to do with it, and he was obviously trying to get the proper contacts. And we all know who he got. I think it's the Young Bucks. The tag team is the ones that he's referring to. I'm pretty sure. That's got to be Kenny Omega, too. That's got to be who he's talking about. But I'm not as well versed into the outside of WWE world, so there's probably some listeners who know a lot more about that topic than I do. So they would be a lot more of a, you know, better person to ask about that. But Sami Zayn comes out and he basically gives Kevin Owens a chance to talk, but Kevin Owens still doesn't really have a whole lot to say. He's pretty much just telling him, look, we've already been through this. I've already heard every single thing that Sami Zayn is going to say, that we don't have to be friends to take down the bloodline. We just have to work together, because obviously two working together is a lot better than one. And just that collective unit, looking at Cody Rhodes and Sami and KO, I don't know, it feels so right that they're building a unit that is capable of taking down the bloodline and making it actually believable. Because I was wondering, like, when Sami Zayn was actually still in the bloodline, like, before the Royal Rumble, and I was already seeing reports, like, we're planning on having the Usos versus KO and Sami at WrestleMania. I was legitimately like, how are we going to get there? Because I'm like, he's well entrenched in this. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they have made it play out to where I've enjoyed the storyline development, and also just it's so believable, you know, like it makes sense why they're feuding with each other now. But I definitely enjoyed the back and forth that KO and Sami had in the ring, although it didn't necessarily end the way that I would have liked. In the ring did continue over, but as far as the in the ring stuff, how'd that go?
Well, I mean, I was pretty hit for a twist. I mean, I guess we both were whenever Cody was like talking about Roman Reigns at the beginning, and he was like saying that he wanted to talk to somebody.
Yes.
And yeah, I was totally, hit me with the twist right there. So, I mean, the way that he just kind of played that out made it so much more interesting to like just follow, you know, just to see what's going on with this whole situation. I don't know if you're going to get to that part yet, but
go ahead.
Okay. But like the ending on where, or I wouldn't say the ending, but whenever it comes back to commercial, Sami goes out there, catch KO at his challenger before he's taken off.
I'm glad you mentioned the challenger. That damn near stole the show.
Yeah,
that damn near stole the whole scene.
But yeah, I mean, the way that he just like, I guess like presented himself, you know, like felt like he was like actually telling them, you know, he tells them, you know, of course he considers him a friend, you know, and even if he doesn't like him at the end of this, you know, he still considers him a brother type stuff. Gives him a good I love you, and it was pretty much just all feels for me right there. And the way that they're going about this is making just the whole situation a lot more better.
Yep. Like I told you before we started recording, on the road to WrestleMania, there are no bad shows. Oh, yeah. Or at least there shouldn't be.
Right.
And this one, just what, 5 or, let's see, 23 minutes in?
Yeah, pretty quick.
That was a long opening segment?
Yeah. But the way it went out, you know, I mean, it didn't seem like we were dragged, you know. I mean, there was something to kind of follow up every little minute to make it interesting. So I was with it.
And it leads us into this mixed tag match here. We get Zelina Vega and Santos Escobar versus Mami, Rhea Ripley, and Dominic Mysterio. Definitely started a little bit fast paced with, I saw Dominic doing a little bit of ground and pound on Santos, but Zelina Vega now going up to the middle turnbuckle doing a backwards, I don't know, what would you call that? I mean, definitely a backflip, but it looked like it was some type of moonsault, but ended up landing right on Rhea Ripley, takes them out. Now they're going to do some type of tag team move. Oh, no, they're just showboating. Okay, going to commercial break. But we're going to go ahead and watch this match, let it play out. Just like last week, we'll be back after it's over to tell you what we saw. All right, Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley get the win for Judgment Day. John, how did this match play out?
Well, this was pretty good. I mean, I was interested. I wanted Santos and Zelina to get the win here, but of course, I mean, we are getting, I guess, a push for Dom for his little road to WrestleMania, but I felt like it was pretty balanced, I guess you could say. I mean, the little, what'd you say, the backflip moonsault?
Yes.
Was pretty nice from Zelina, and then she also hit Rhea Ripley with a nice DDT. And the way she just played it off, dude, that took that bump and, you know, stood up, a little confused look in her face and everything.
So Zelina
like
in-ring impressed you in this match?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We don't
get to see her a lot.
She is impressive. I mean, of course, her little petite little body, you know, spinning around doing things like that.
If there was a cruiserweight women's division, Zelina might be the best of all time. Mm-hmm. She legitimately has that type of talent for like women her size. It's just always the women like Rhea Ripley and Charlotte and Bianca Belair, now Raquel Rodriguez. Like there's so many powerhouses that the believability behind Zelina Vega just isn't there. Like for whatever reason, like as women's champion. Well, now she has good spots in matches. Yeah. I'm with that. But I guess just whenever because I had the same issues with Alexa Bliss when she was champion. I was like, okay, I understand. You know, she's got some spunk and stuff. But I always question, like when she beat like Nia Jax and stuff, I was like, okay, just a little bit off there. But Zelina, without a doubt, the mic skills are up there with damn near anybody right now. Like she is somebody that could carry a commentary segment, you know, like a guest on commentary. She can make it absolutely entertaining. And I am sorry if this chair is a little bit noisy. I'm sitting in a different chair. We had some technical speed bumps go on to where we had to move seats. That's literally it. And if that's the only problem you're dealing with in the podcasting world, you are doing all right.
Right.
But after this match was over, Dominic Mysterio grabs the mic and calls out Jefe, starts taking shots at Rey Mysterio. And then he tells us as the fans that our quote-unquote Hall of Famer is nothing but a deadbeat dad. Like, I mean, he's beating that into the ground, I'll tell you that. So
sure.
Rey Mysterio, though, was shown on the Jumbotron walking into the arena. We saw what happened last week, right? Whenever Rey Mysterio pulled the ropes and Dominic went between them. Mm-hmm. That was kind of like the first moment that I saw where, Rey Mysterio was actually damn near fighting back to Dominic. And, obviously they had an encounter on Monday night, right?
Oh, yeah.
On Raw? Okay. So, I mean, hopefully we're on a commercial break right now. So hopefully Dominic... I mean, Rey isn't showing up for nothing, not just to be shown on the Jumbotron. So we're going to get some type of interaction. Hopefully it's a nice smack in the mouth. But I have a feeling that they're probably going to save that for Mania. But let's see what's coming up here. A&E commercial, so I imagine they're definitely coming back. They're hyping up the showdown in Kansas City, which is Sami Zayn and Jey Uso. Apparently it's going to be mostly Sami Zayn who's going to be carrying the weight on that. But I am curious what they're going to do next here in the show. Rey Mysterio coming out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pause this. Whenever we get back, we'll let you know what happened in this segment. Well, that segment right there definitely made me feel something.
Oh, yeah.
For sure, just good stuff. That was a good segment. Like, that right there is what I enjoy the most about wrestling is when the promos get you, like, you're just getting excited, and just seeing what Rey Mysterio had to say to Dominic was phenomenal stuff. What'd you take away from, I guess, Rey Mysterio finally, I mean, you don't want to say insulting Dominic, but I mean, he definitely took some shots there in that line when he called him a punk-ass kid and said that he would gladly beat his ass, but he's his son and stuff. That right there, I mean, I would have popped in person. Had I been there in the arena in Kansas City, I without a doubt would have lost it there. But yeah, just what'd you think about Rey Mysterio finally having some things to say to that little punk Dominic?
Well, I mean, it was a good breath of fresh air, I guess you could say. All this time he hasn't been not even verbally attacking him, just kind of being polite, I guess. But for him to actually get the little chest out type stuff, tell him what he needed to hear. I mean, everybody needed to hear that, not just Dom, everybody as listeners, fans type stuff, we were waiting for that, or I was at least, So, I mean, for him to actually go and show that there's some type of fight in him, I guess you could say, but I mean, ultimately, he does say that he's never, ever going to fight him, especially at WrestleMania. So that's kind of like a damper on the whole thing. But
yeah, and he said he would love nothing more than him to be standing next to him.
Right, on the whole induction and everything. So, I mean, for that, I mean, you got to kind of give it or take it how it is, I guess you could say, and know that I think that him actually just verbally attacking him this time is the best way for him to actually interact with them, because it seemed like it hit Dom in a good spot, so.
No, yeah, for sure. I actually just now had to text the Discord. This is a live, obviously, while we're recording the show. I just sent a message to the Discord asking them what this match is, the match that's coming up. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez teaming up for something. I'm not really sure. We have DJ Kuzmo and Detroit Kyle both typing right now. DJ says, exactly, I'm confused. See, so I don't really know what the gist was. And even Detroit Kyle says, I don't know either. Ha ha ha. He's still trying to figure it out. Well, oh no, he says he's still, or just basically, yeah, he's still trying to figure it out. But either way, this is a little bit of a confusing.
That's pretty interesting how you did that right there. You get a little quick feedback and everything.
Yes, very quick.
Nice.
So yeah, we involved the listeners, obviously some loyal listeners like that, but before that segment ended, Rey Mysterio tried to walk away, like you said, I'm never going to fight you at WrestleMania. And then Dominic, of course, does the old-fashioned, yeah, that's what I thought, walk away. Just you taught me everything not to be, which is a scared little man. I got to say, I've criticized Dominic a lot during his run here in WWE. This is exactly what he needed. He needs to springboard off of this feud with Dom or with Rey Mysterio because, I mean, I'm excited to see where it goes. But, I don't know, just... It's going to be tough for him to stand on his own without Ray. Hopefully the Judgment Day isn't going anywhere. Hopefully they kind of stick around for a while because I feel like the mommy stuff is a way for him to somewhat be relevant and, still be an annoying heel without being attached to his father's hip, So there are certain routes they can go with Dominic, but without a doubt, when this program ends, it's massive, massive crossroads for his young career.
Oh, yeah. I think he just needs a little bit of credibility in a way to like further his steps, I guess. Because right now you kind of see him like going against Santos. I didn't expect him to get those wins, but he's been getting them. So I mean, I can't really say what my idea is on all that, but I mean, I just think that he just needs credibility to kind of further his step in my eyes.
Yes, I agree. Well, currently on a commercial break. Whenever we get back, we just came back. So Tegan Knox and who's her partner? Emma. Mm-hmm. Okay, Tegan and Emma versus Liv and Raquel. You got an early prediction for this one?
I want to go Liv Morgan, man. I'm always going to ride on that side. Especially she got Raquel in her
Well, I like Raquel,
corner.
so we can team up right there, and we can just, roll with that team. All right, Emma and Tegan. I mean, this is a no-brainer in terms of
I do like the tag team between them.
Without a doubt.
Megan and Tegan. Or, Emma and Tegan, sorry.
Okay, for sure. I thought you messed up on Tegan's name, and then you said hers after Megan. I was like, okay, now I'm confused. But okay, yeah, Emma. So we get a lockup here. Raquel and Tegan start this bad boy off, just already overpowered, going for a power bomb. Ooh, Tegan reverses out, delivers a nice chop right to the chest, maybe a slap to the face. Not really sure exactly where it was delivered, but it was certainly a connection, without a doubt, and an old-fashioned grab your head. Those are the turnbuckle. We get a Liv Morgan tag in. We're going to watch this match whenever we get back. We'll let you know the winner and how it all played out.
Well,
as you can hear the music, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I don't know if it's loud enough for you to hear it, but you could probably hear Samantha Irvin congratulating Liv and Raquel. Hey, they work well together as a team. Yeah. I will say, just these two are a pretty damn good team together, and Liv looked like she was dominating. I mean, she took that rough fall on the outside of the ring. She goes in there and hits an Oblivion right after a Tejana bomb by Raquel Rodriguez. And they're moving on to a fatal four-way tag match. Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan versus three other teams at WrestleMania. No championships involved. This is just purely... So, I guess really quickly, because they're showing a little bit of a highlight here of Charlotte and Shotzi. I should have muted that a long time ago. Sorry, guys. But either way, they were showing a video package, or a graphic, I should say, of a fatal four-way. So that's what that match is going to be. Number one, there's 2 nights of WrestleMania, so there's definitely time for it. I'm not a fan of just giving people spots on the card for the sake of it, but having women get a match that doesn't have to be centered around a championship, and they're just going to get a chance to showcase their talent, I'm here for it, Okay. So I guess that's what I'll take away from that. But Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez deservedly are the first team to enter that match.
Oh, yeah, and like you said, I mean, whenever they tag team together, I think they work well together. The thing that was kind of confusing was whenever they were kind of going against each other in a way.
Yeah.
A couple weeks back and stuff like that. So for them to kind of, I guess, put that stuff to the side, work better in a better direction, as they got going right now, I think it's going to work well for them.
I agree. Charlotte Flair coming out right now. But hey, what do you think about Liv Morgan's gear? Her new ring gear. It's looking a little, I don't want to say Chucky-ish, because she did have Chucky-themed gear once, but it's like those jean shorts, Hooter style.
Oh, yeah.
You could say. But, yeah, pretty fancy gear, I will say, Liv. I like the transition she's making. And, oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah. I like the top that she had, like how it was kind of like stringy, I guess you could say, over the chest and everything. But also want to give a shout out, Detroit Kyle. What's up, bud?
Yeah, definitely. Give a shout out to Detroit Kyle. He definitely very active in the Discord, as well as my boy and your boy, Grim Reaper. But, dude, Charlotte Flair, look at this outfit on her.
Yeah, she's outrageous. Trying to glow. She's trying to glow.
Imagine her in a skating rink where the lights are out and it's really, black light. She would be glowing literally. But yeah, definitely a badass outfit. We're at a commercial break right now. They're showing some of the updated merch the WWE shop or WWE has on WWE Shop right now. Definitely like to take a gander there every now and then, especially with those buy one get one for $1 deals. I'm sure they have some type of deal going on right now. It's not going to be eligible or going on whenever you listen to this, but they don't have a deal going on anyway. But it would have been tonight, and it was a 316 deal anyways. But while we're here on a commercial break, I wanted to talk about that WWE 2K commercial that looked damn good.
Oh, John Cena.
It definitely makes me want to go buy it, but
Oh yeah.
yeah,
thing.
nonetheless, though, I'm looking forward to getting some WWE 2K matches in with you for sure. And possibly, was one thing we talked about, because we're on a commercial break right now, and, this is a SmackDown review. Don't want to pause it and just wait and sit here and, I guess, not tell this story. But some people in a group chat I'm in, definitely might include you in this as well, even though you're not in the Madden League. But we're possibly going to draft rosters with all the WWE superstars on WWE 2K, like have our own rosters,
okay.
yeah, where we,
Gotcha.
Battle it out with, like, say, because there's about 6 or 7 of us. Say we can get 3 of us where we fight with all of the Raw guys, and the other 3 fight with the SmackDown guys, and we just go back and forth, battling out with them. And we have our roster, the teams or the guys that we drafted and girls, and likewise for the other guys, and we can go back and forth. Put some championships on the line. But, I just wanted to fill that in here on the show. I'm sure that there's a lot of listeners out there who are also planning on playing WWE 2K. So I'll go ahead and just say it. PlayStation Network, Badassed 5, capital B, capital A, if you want to play your boy on not only WWE 2K, but also Madden and any other, games like that. I like to have fun. So just a little bit of a shameless plug there if any of you guys want to play 2K. But we're going to go ahead and pause it here. Whenever we get back, we'll see what Charlotte Flair has to say. Well, that was a pretty interesting segment there to really get you excited for the championship match at WrestleMania between Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. I feel like, Charlotte came out of the gate strong. Was she saying WrestleMania has Flair as a champion, Rhodes as a challenger, or Rose?
I was hearing Rhodes the first time,
Okay.
and then the second time she said it sounded like Rose.
Okay, I mean it made sense, but I was like, okay, my hearing could be off. I didn't want to ask the Discord chat that again. Sound like a complete doofus. So just kind of went with it. Either way, it was a pretty good promo. But Rhea Ripley came out and her promo was phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
talking about fear and how men and women turned their back to her in the locker room, and I mean it convinced me. Definitely, I'm not going to try to just quote word for word what Rhea just said. But, I'm sure that you guys watched this segment and you probably felt the same way, that she definitely is somebody who's getting better and better and more polished on the microphone. And that was really the one area that she was never bad at, but now she's legitimately good at it. And when you package that with what she can do inside of the ring, her believability as a character and just her overall size in this division, man, you think that she clearly has a lot of great days ahead of her. Without a doubt, a big challenge, though, here at WrestleMania. This thing really gets ugly because Dominic kind of gets in her face, Charlotte's that is, and says, Mommy's going to beat you at WrestleMania. And then Rhea, of course, comes out of nowhere with a little bit of a cheap shot, would you say? A little bit of a out of nowhere. Charlotte didn't expect it.
It looked like she was gonna go slap Dominic.
Yes, she
Charlotte
intercepted the punch pretty much. She hit her a little too quick, I guess you could say, but
I wanted that to happen, though.
I did too. I really did. After what he said to Ray earlier, let Charlotte say, hey, you're not going to smack this kid around. Let me do it for you.
Right.
But anyways, they try to leave, Rhea and Dominic, that is. And then Charlotte quickly says, nah, that ain't happening tonight. She leaves the ring. She goes and takes them both out. Brutal clothesline to start it. Can you, the fact that that's how it started and it ended up going on for probably 5 minutes just of an absolute brawl. There was, some thrown into the barricade, security, and WWE officials pretty much just getting caught in the middle of this, jumping off of the announce table, getting thrown onto the announce table, going over the barricade and into the crowd. They were beating the bloody hell out of each other, would you say?
Yep, I agree.
And, I know you're already excited for this match, but what did this segment do? Because, we don't really get a chance to see what these two women are capable of doing to each other because they're doing it to other women, and they're clearly on another level. So the fact that we're going to see them go up against each other, it's going to be money TV.
Oh, yeah.
And I am looking forward to it on the grandest stage of them all. I don't know what night it's going to be. It should be main event for night one. The rest of the Royal Rumble winners should main event both nights. If you're going to have 2 nights and 2 Rumble winners, it just makes sense. Don't have 2 Rumbles or don't have 2 nights if you're going to, not allow one of them to main event. But what are your thoughts here? Just the way this whole segment played out.
Well, on this end, Rhea Ripley has definitely convinced me that she's gonna win. Just from that, just hearing that. I mean, if I was to think otherwise, like Charlotte, I mean, I don't think like I do believe that she believed that Rhea Ripley, what she was saying to her was true, like the fearing, and I don't know, just the way that she didn't blink, just being so straight faced and everything like that, man. She definitely convinced me that she's going to be the winner of here. But I don't know, man. The whole brawl, I guess you could say, the Charlotte hitting Rhea Ripley with that spear.
That was a nice spear.
It was like, 2 steps, and it still looked freaking phenomenal, Yes. And I don't know, just the whole thing happening, Rhea Ripley's standing behind Dominic, and I don't know. He needs to be pushed off to the side in this little feud that they got going, just because Charlotte doesn't have somebody to kind of.
And he's got his own thing going on. He doesn't need it. Rhea can stand on her own here. I feel like it would make her look a lot better if she could, stand on her own.
Right, and I feel like he just kind of dampers like the situations, like how he stepped in. Said that Mommy's gonna beat you at WrestleMania. Man, I mean, you can do that at some points, but you don't have to do it every time she has an interaction with somebody else. That's what I kind of get from it. And like you said, I think. Rhea, she could step off on her own, do it her own way, I guess you could say.
Yeah, for sure. Well, up next we get Kofi, I don't know why. Kofi's injured, and I said it last week. Mm-hmm. I accidentally called Xavier Kofi. Yeah. But Xavier Woods has a one-on-one match with L.A. Knight. Yeah, so we'll talk about this match right when we get back. Well, this match was actually pretty quick, I will say. Ended in a backwoods. Xavier Woods steals the win from LA Knight. Not really a fan of this outcome. In our stock investment draft, I drafted LA Knight pretty damn high, if I'm not mistaken. Did I pick him first? I think you picked Solo first.
Was Solo
I gave you first pick. But either way, Xavier Woods steals the win here. They showed how the match got started. It pretty much started by a little backstage interaction, you could say. Who was playing Xavier?
Madcap.
Madcap Moss was playing Xavier Woods in 2K, and I guess they were doing Woods versus LA Knight. And LA Knight walked up and said, "Oh, that's cute, beating LA Knight in a video game. Why don't you try to do it in real life? Maybe on the ring, whatever." They go back and forth. Xavier says, "All you've done since you've been here is run your mouth. Whatever. We're going to see these guys duke it out," and we just did. Xavier steals the win. Like I said, I don't necessarily agree with this finish, but, it is what it is, I suppose. And shout out to the great Muda for getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. I do believe that Rocky T and Michael Gross did an episode on their new podcast. Mm-hmm. Wrestle Magic, right here on the WWE podcast. Definitely go check them out if you haven't already. Two credible wrestling fans, obviously, and they are longtime listeners here on the show. Obviously, Michael Gross been a longtime contributor. Rocky T, a resident here in Texas. So you already know, us Texas fans, we bring it here on the WWE podcast. So we are going to, let this commercial break play out. And whenever we get back, we will figure out what segment they have coming for us. I do believe, actually, they teased it. We're going to get Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus in that number 1 contenders match. And we both talked about it. We don't expect a clear winner here. But if there is, who do you want to win?
If I was to choose, I'm going to go with Drew. Just because I think he needs the opportunity, I guess you could say. And given Sheamus already has had that opportunity, we just need a new face.
Just the pure appeal of a Drew McIntyre versus Gunther match is why I want Drew to win. But if Sheamus were to win, would not be mad.
Oh, no.
But it makes sense for a triple threat. I feel like it's just... It makes sense. We'll see what happens here in this match, and we'll find out if we're going to get a triple threat or if one of these guys is going to earn that one-on-one match with Gunther. Before we talk about the actual Drew versus Sheamus match, we do have to talk about the segment that just happened between LA Knight and Rey Mysterio, which I thought was pretty funny. Just being like line after line. Number 1, LA Knight walks up to him. Amino says, "Hey, back here signing autographs and stuff. If you're not going to fight your goofy son, how about I fight him? Yeah. I'll give him an LA moment, yada, yada, yada. How about this? I'll call myself LA Mysterio so I could also be a deadbeat, whatever." Rey Mysterio gets up and smacks the piss out of him.
I didn't expect that.
Didn't either. No. Says something to him in Spanish, and LA Knight says, "What the hell did he just say?"
Bro,
Great stuff, man.
So funny, yeah. Bro.
Yeah, this is what makes LA Knight so valuable, is just, those moments right there. But they're showing the match flow right now. how we got here, the double pin, which I still stand where I stand last week, one of the most stupid things I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully that's not the case this week. And if they do have a non-finish, it's at least better booked. But, okay, now, without any further interruptions, we're going to watch this match. When we get back, we'll let you know how it played out. And that was probably the longest segment that we've had in the, well, obviously last week and this week, however long it's been, however many segments we've had. Without a doubt, that was the longest one. It literally feels like yesterday that we were recording this. I don't know if it's just because, got a little bit too cozy watching that match, which was a banger.
Oh, yeah.
I will say. But the ending,
Nah.
they just can't end one of these matches great. I'm not even asking for an outright winner. I just want it to at least make sense. Like, it was going to be a triple threat. You just let the referee do the count, right? Let him just continue. He's at 8. He's about to say 9, 10. Bam, right there. No winner, whatever. I did not understand Gunther getting in the ring, getting in the ref's face, and then basically having his henchmen attack both Drew and Sheamus. It just didn't really make sense. I don't know why. I mean, am I crazy for thinking that? Or what are your thoughts on this?
Not at all. Like, whenever I saw them jump in the ring, hit him, I was like, oh, well, we know what road we're going down, so just kind of go with it, I guess. But I didn't expect them to do that.
They actually, it was a really well-executed Claymore bro kick.
Dude,
simultaneous.
That was
that part,
nice.
great.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that that's the way that they wanted to go, it's just, had they did the count out, cool. Okay, They did it, man. I knew they were going to find a way to do it. I wasn't sure how. We didn't need to see the Gunther stuff at the end,
right.
I guess, is my only complaint there. But nonetheless, Gunther tries to walk away. Adam Pearce appears on the Jumbotron and says, you will defend your Intercontinental Championship in a triple threat match at WrestleMania. So we get it, the inevitable. You said once you saw Gunther come out, when we weren't recording, you said once you saw him come out, you felt like it was going to be a triple threat. And here we are. I felt like a lot of people were spot on with this, and it is probably the best possible outcome for this whole program. Who do you got winning?
I'm still going to ride with Drew.
Gunther's the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in the 21st century.
I feel like they're trying to move in a different direction with Gunther now, depending on how everything kind of like unfolds WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I think Gunther needs to be in that heavyweight championship title.
So you're saying
I guess
he's on the bigger and better things?
I think so.
Okay. I'm with that. I definitely would love to see that happen for Gunther's future. But we're at a commercial break right now. Whenever we get back, we're getting the Kansas City Showdown between Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. Well, emotions are still boiling. My hairs are still kind of standing up over here. This was a segment. Like, from start to finish, we didn't even get a chance to see Jey come out. He was who we saw walk into the ring before the commercial break. We get back from the commercial break. Sami Zayn is coming out. Immediately, they're going at it. Sami's coming out, talking right away. Hey, this is what you wanted, right? This is what you wanted, Oos. And then, obviously, he says, I pulled up, which he did. And we get there back and forth. Well, Jey obliterates him on the mic. He really does. That's one thing about Jey Uso. We did stumble a little bit through a few parts, but when you're screaming at the top of your lungs, when you're that passionate, I'm not holding it against him at all because what he was saying was so spot on. It was coming from a real place. So genuine. He even referenced somebody, I don't even know who. He said, somebody tells me that I wish I would have wrote it down. I couldn't remember his exact program, but someone told me that something. I have no idea. I tried to, I just paused it, and that's just a little behind the curtain. I tried to think, and I didn't find out. All right, so it is what it is. But nonetheless, if you heard it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Either way, it was really passionate, and he basically says that he doesn't have a choice for what he has to do now, what he has to do next. We didn't get to hear what was next, but we know that he doesn't have a choice, and that's where Sami jumps in and says, no, you've had a choice since day one, but instead you choose every single day to take Roman Reigns' abuse. Jey doesn't like to hear that. But Jey goes on to say that you're not mad at me for hitting Roman Reigns with that chair. You're just mad that you didn't get a chance to do it first. Pretty telling line there because there's a lot of truth to it, I think. But we know where his loyalty lies. I don't think that's really ever going to come into question. But just that back and forth because pretty much after that, very soon, Jey ends up hitting Sami. So just from the words part of this, what'd you take away from it?
Well, the thing that stuck with me was like whenever Jey was saying that he let his guard down,
Yes.
like accepted Sami as like a brother, like the whole time, like he was saying he was against Sammy even being welcomed. You know, he was welcomed by Jimmy, Solo, the Wise Man, and then also the Tribal Chief, you know. And then eventually, like you said, you know, he put that little guard down, like accepted him as a brother and everything like that, and that truly meant something to him. And then for him to go and turn his back on him definitely hurt him, you know. So that whole part, like you're saying, definitely dogged him, I guess you could say.
One of the more
the
passionate promos that you'll see. Him and Rhea Ripley probably had the most. Well, Sammy, that's just what Sammy does though in this part of his career. But I agree though. Yes, he definitely he dunked on him.
Oh yeah, and then it was just great. I mean, of course, you know, you can tell that it affected Sammy whenever he said it. You know, his little eyebrows went from like a angry, you know, to like a dang, maybe I did mess up, you know, type stuff. I mean, there's just so much to it, you know. I mean, the way that Sammy just came in, did what he did, the fallout. I mean, it's just crazy, man. And for Sammy and Kevin Owens to come together, round of applause.
Exactly, you mentioned it right there. They're going at it back and forth. Jay and Sammy, and right when Sammy gets the upper hand, when he's on top of Jay, Jimmy comes out of nowhere, and super kick. They use the stairs. They're putting a pretty good beat down on Sami Zayn. And what music do you hear? Some of the absolute best. One of the absolute best theme songs in all of wrestling right now. Kevin Owens, he appears in the ring while they're waiting for him to come out of the stage. We've seen this happen a few times now. Unzips his hoodie, takes it off, and he starts getting it, man. Going at it with both Usos, takes them both out. So passionate. We hear the crowd say, hug it out, and we do. We get that warm embrace.
Yep.
How did that make you feel, seeing the embrace? Because I know that you're very much, you know, entrenched with the bloodline. But seeing the embrace, seeing this other side of the coin, obviously Cody Rhodes watching backstage on the TV, seeing it as well, because you know he's pulling for it. He needs it as well to help him just collectively take down the bloodline.
Yeah.
But just seeing the embrace, the actual hug between Sammy and KO, I mean, that make you feel fuzzy inside?
I mean, it gave me a little something. But the only thing that gets me is like the way that Sammy goes about getting what he wants. You know, like getting into the bloodline, you know, persistent, you know, stuff like that. And same way with Kevin Owens getting back in his good graces. He was persistent on what he wanted to tell him every show, you know, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown. It was just the way he goes about, like I was saying, the way he goes about like getting himself back into that good graces with people, or even getting into it at the very beginning, you know.
Right.
He knows how to work his magic, I guess you could say. And I don't know, man. It's just so much stuff that's about to be unfolding, I guess you could say. Like you were saying, Cody Rhodes looking backstage, looking at his whole little plan come together. Oh, yeah, there's about to be some big stuff coming along.
Yeah, I mean, the pop, when they had that embrace, when Kevin Owens came out, I mean, that was nuclear, man. I felt like I was at the Royal Rumble again, just with all that, man. It was legitimately a massive moment for that to happen on TV, on a regular SmackDown. That's what I was alluding to earlier, man. These shows are going to be bangers. You're going to get moments like that. It's what WrestleMania is all about, and you just know, looking forward to this time of year, every year, you're going to get some good stuff in your life. So always appreciate it, and you know, always come back and listen to the SmackDown review. But one more thing, what do you got, John?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, going to Royal Rumble, I mean, and being there with like the live crowd and hearing the pops, I guess you could say, and then like watching it from TV, like you know whenever something big happens.
Yeah,
you know?
You get that experience now, and you can kind of tell. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was big. That was big. So like you're saying, that big old embrace and everything like that. Yeah. What would you say? Goosebumps.
Yes.
You know, a little
the
bit brings back
up.
stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's just great stuff.
Oh yeah, man! Without a doubt, Kansas City definitely tore the place down with some of their pops tonight. They were a lit crowd with all those Chiefs jerseys in the stadium. Yeah, John is a Raiders fan. Obviously, I probably shouldn't have said that, but we'll and especially because we ain't eaten dinner yet. So you know, whenever people are getting hangry, yeah, this might be my last SmackDown review here, guys, but. Nonetheless, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Definitely go listen to all the other content that's dropping here on the WWE podcast. Obviously, I think we're doing a roundtable with Casual Wrestling Crew on Sunday. And then, obviously, you know, all the other shows. Matt's got dropping. We got the AEW review, NXT review, Wrestle Magic. You name it. it's dropping here on the WWE podcast. So with all that being said, John, you got anything else to say to the listeners before we sign off?
Well, of course, I mean, just want to give y'all thanks for, coming back every week, making this a part of your weekly routine, I guess you could say. And, of course, give you a shout-out. I mean, I got a new little logo that you're going to be presenting pretty soon. So people will be keeping your eyes out for, like, the little, what would you say, WCW theme that Mike is trying to bring into this whole thing. It's legit. I mean, whenever he showed it to me, I thought it was kind of different, I guess you could say, but I didn't see the full picture. And then whenever he finally showed me the actual finished product, I was like, okay, I see exactly what you were trying to go for. Yep. And yeah, definitely a good little touch to what you got going, especially with all your new stuff dropping. Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely want to leave it at that.
All right, man, appreciate it as always. Yeah, go check out Football Function. We're gonna have a little bit of a rebrand coming here soon for the third year, and I'm looking forward to doing that. But you guys all have a damn good weekend. Walk passionately in the direction of your dreams, and we will talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.